so happy I'm flying high. Haven't got a worry to my name. He's my friend, she's my pal. Everybody's my guy and gal. Haven't got a worry to my name. I do everything I do with brand new rhythm. Tell those lucky stars I'm moving right in with them. So fly the flag, ring the bells. What a future my fortune tells. Feel so free, I'll never be the same. I haven't got a worry to my name. Hear ye, ring the bell, 'cause all is well. It's a good, good night. I can feel it in the air. Feel that love is everywhere on this good, good night. Everything's alright. Got a feeling I can't lose, and it's nothing like the blues on this good, good night. I wanna shout it from a steeple. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it great? Hello, people. Who needs a reason to celebrate on this good, good night? I've got happiness to spare that I'd really like to share with you on this good, good night. I want to shout it from a steeple. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it great? Hello, people. Who needs a reason to celebrate? Birds can fly, so can I. I'm so happy I'm flying high. Feel so free, I'll never be the same. I haven't got a worry on this good, 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 good night. Billy's place, the vibe is light and breezy. Billy's place, it's a virtual speakeasy. My home base, glad that you dropped by. Time to grab a libation from the shelf. Have whatever you want, you gotta make it yourself. Sit back, relax, I'll make your troubles fly. A musical trip, nothing complicated, and if you tip, that's very appreciated. Good fellowship with no mask on our face. From apartment 5 across the park, I'll be singing and swinging till it gets dark. Don't worry about finding a place to park, just park it at Billy's place. Park it at Billy's place. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Stritch, and you're in the right place. You're at Billy's Place. Park it at Billy's Place. Episode 22. It's October the 8th, ladies and gentlemen. I guess you probably already knew that. Anyway, I'm so glad that you've joined me tonight. It's another Thursday with all our friends. And tonight, in lieu of a big theme or a big tribute to a singer or a songwriter, this is called Billy's Choice, and I'm going to do some songs that I hope you like. No special theme, no special, through line or anything. Just some good music. So park it at Billy's Place. Here's a song by Hoagie Carmichael. Touch my fingertips and my heart is aglow. You've been to kiss my lips and I can't let you go. Maybe I should resist. I'm a fool, I know. But at a time like this, my resistance is low. Your eyes have magic. They seem to say, come closer, my darling, come closer and somehow I can't break away. Can't you see that I long to be adored more than you'll ever know? I'm going overboard with a capital O. So don't be persistent, please keep your distance. You know my resistance is low. See that I want to be adored more than you'll ever know. I'm going overboard with a capital O. So don't be persistent, please keep your distance. Your lips are so tender, I think I'll surrender. I need some assistance, so don't keep your distance. You know my resistance. You know my resistance. You know my resistance is low. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to all of you. Thank you for joining me right here, our usual spot, Billy's Place. You are all here. I feel the love. I am so excited about this show because I wasn't reined in by a theme. You know, I love doing these themes and doing tributes to composers. Last week was Conrad and Green, and the week before that was Johnny Mercer and Mel Torme before that. I mean, you know, we've done a lot of themes, and we'll get back to that. But it was nice to kind of not be hemmed in and to kind of just do some songs I've always loved doing, or songs that I haven't done in a while, or anyway, you're going to see what it's all about before too long. But before I go any further, I want to wish a happy birthday to my dear friend. I don't know if she's watching tonight or not, Sunny Sessa, who is down in Palm Beach, Florida. I don't know if she's watching, but if she isn't, somebody will tell her about this. It's her birthday tomorrow, so I wanted to give her a special shout out for her birthday. You guys, I have my cocktail because it's Billy's choice tonight. The choice of cocktail is my favorite cocktail, a Grey Goose Martini, with 3 olives. Now, our friend Betsy told us this afternoon. I had posted earlier that I liked it with 2 jalapeno stuffed olives, and she wrote to tell us that an even number of olives or any garnish is bad luck. So I couldn't have just 1, so now I have 3. Betsy, thank you, because I don't want any bad luck, believe me. Cheers, everybody, if you're having martini. Whatever you're having, as the song says, have whatever you want. You got to make it yourself. Anyway, salute. Here's to getting through another week. My Lord, it's crazy out there, isn't it? I don't think we've ever lived through such a crazy time. Anyway, I'm not going to go there because we're living through it. And what I like about this show is that it gives us a chance to not have to think about all of that stuff. Anyway, so many of you in the last couple of weeks the last 6 months. How long have I been doing merchandise, Doug? About 4 months now, something like that? Yeah, merchandise. So many of you have purchased merchandise from the Billy's Place merchandise store, and I had a couple of pictures that I wanted to show tonight. First of all, my dear friend K.T. Sullivan, who does such a great job with the Mabel Mercer Foundation, her darling husband, Stephen Downey, sent me a picture of him wearing a Billy's Place shirt. I think that was taken at the West Bank Cafe. And my friend Ann Raybould, I'm not sure you're going to tell me how to pronounce it, but we've become good friends over the last few weeks. She and her mother watch us every week, and she brought a cap and she's wearing a cap, and she bought a cap for a friend of hers, and she's holding that cap. So thank you, Anne. That's really, really super cute. We have a new item. First of all, we have lots of things in the merchandise store. We have T-shirts. We have tote bags, coffee mugs. They're very tumblers. These large tumblers like this. These are good for like soft drinks and water. And then we have wine tumblers. And we've got coasters. We've got mouse pads. Cheese boards. Oh my goodness. I think a couple of you have bought a cheese board. They're really nice. They're not inexpensive, but they are really nice, I gotta say. We got these great caps, and we've got magnets. How about that cap? I'm not gonna mess my hair up with the cap. Anyway, I'm excited this week because we're adding a wonderful, wonderful new product just in time for this brisk weather we're having. We're adding lovely hooded sweatshirts with the Billy's Place blue logo, because I felt like that was a little more wintry on a nice gray sweatshirt. And those are now available in the merchandise store because it is getting cool, and who doesn't need a sweatshirt? I mean, I know a lot of us live in our sweat garments, and that's a good thing. Now, before I go to the next thing, yesterday I posted this really funny, one of my little, blurbs, teasers for the show, and I was just telling you about what the show was going to be tonight. And I posted a picture that I had found a couple of years ago online. I had no idea what it was from. It was just a picture. I think it was on Pinterest or someplace. And I loved it. I saved it, and I posted it yesterday. And so many of you people told me that, oh my God, that picture is Mary Healy and Peter Lind Hayes. And they were the stars of a movie called The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. Now listen, guys, I have heard of this movie forever, but for some reason in my mind, I thought that it was like a real horror movie, like with Vincent Price or something like that. I don't know why I thought that. I mean, it's a crazy, weird fantasy written by Dr. Seuss and produced by Stanley Kramer, and it stars those two. Anyway, I'm sure all of you know this film because so many of you wrote me and said, oh my God, that's the 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. And I was like, I don't know this film. My friend Jason Robert Brown was like, oh yeah, I make my two kids watch this every year, whether they want to or not. It's about a diabolical piano player, Dr. T, played by Hans Conried, Dr. Terwilliger, I think. And the little kid is Tommy Rettig, who was on Lassie. And he has this feverish dream where he has to practice the piano, him and 499 other little boys, and hence that picture with the keyboard that goes on forever. Well, anyway, Jason said, you got to watch this movie, and he said you might want a drink or maybe something edible to watch this movie with. And I said, I watched a couple of previews and a couple of numbers from it last night. I think that's good advice, but I'm going to watch the whole movie. 1953. The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. I don't know how that movie got away from me. Anyway, moving on to Billy's Choice and some songs. I've been yakking away way too long. Here's a song for my friend Sunny because it is her birthday tomorrow. I know she misses autumn in New York. This song was written in 1934. Words and music by Vernon Duke. It's time to end my lonely holiday and bid the country a hasty farewell. So on this gray and melancholy day, I'll move to a Manhattan hotel. I'll dispense with my rose-colored shadows and prepare for my share of adventures and battles. Here on the 27th floor, looking down on the city I hate and adore. Does it seem so inviting? Autumn in New York, it spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds and shimmering clouds in canyons of steel. They're making me feel I'm home. It's autumn in New York that brings the promise of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands may sigh for exotic lands. It's autumn in New York. It's good to live it again. The gleaming rooftops at sundown. It lifts you up when you're run down. Jaded roués and gay divorcees who lunch at the Ritz will tell you that it's divine. This autumn in New York transforms the slums into Mayfair. Autumn in New York, you'll need no castle in Spain. Lovers that bless the dark on benches in Central Park greet autumn in New York. It's good to live it Wow, you know, when I'm singing that song, which I only really do this time of year, but I get in the middle of those lyrics and I realize how much I love that song. I mean, 1934, and I love, first of all, where are you going to hear a song that has that kind of imagery in it? I mean, jaded roués and gay divorcees who lunch at the Ritz. I mean, that is New York, 1934. Part of me wishes that I would have lived back then because that seems so glamorous. I know 1934 was not the best year for the country because a lot of people were very, very poor. But, you know, I just think about it the way it is in movies, and it sounds impossibly glamorous and wonderful, and I just want to live in that movie. You understand what I mean? Autumn in New York, Vernon Duke, what a talent, words and music. Okay, speaking of talent, here are some songs by my almost favorite. I have to say it's hard to pick a favorite composer, but I have a special place in my heart for the great Psy Coleman because I was lucky enough to know Psy Coleman, and he was just so wonderful. We spent a fair amount of time together. First of all, he came to my gigs, and I think he really resonated with me because he was a fantastic pianist. And I think he liked me because I was a pianist and singer, and that's what he was as well. You know, a lot of composers don't necessarily play piano so great. Well, Psy Coleman, forget it. He was trained as a classical pianist from the age of 6, and he made his debut at City Center at the age of 8 or 9, and by the time he was 18 or 19, he was playing in all the hot clubs in town, and then, of course, he wrote all these great songs and great musicals, and I knew him, and I used to hang out, and he would play me trunk songs and songs that had been cut from shows, and I just loved him. You know, he went away way too soon and way too suddenly, but I cherish the memories that I have with Psy Coleman. I'm going to do a song for you now from the last musical that Psy Coleman had on Broadway. It was a show called The Life, and the lyrics are by the great, curmudgeonly, wonderful, funny, what a character. His name was Ira Gassman. He wrote the lyrics. It starred Chuck Cooper and Lillias White and Sam Harris, and it won Tony Awards for some of those people. And it was about Times Square in the 70s, pimps and thieves and hustlers and whores, and kind of seamy, and I feel like it didn't run as long as it should have run. I think that once Broadway comes back, that would be a great show to bring back, because I think from the 70s to now, a 40-year span, that would be very nostalgic and kind of wonderful. I think when they did it in the 90s, it was probably way too fresh in everybody's memory. Anyway, it's a fantastic score. And this is the opening song. It's called Use What You Got. It's sung by the character of JoJo, who's a hustler, and it kind of sums up where we're going to go with the show. When you're a hustler, there is one thing you should know. You gotta hustle every day. When you're a hustler, there's no time to take it slow. Gather ye suckers while you may. Monday you're hot, Tuesday you're not. And that's the reason why I say you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Before what you got is gone, you gotta reach for that ring while you're on that ride. How long does the ride go on? You gotta learn every dance, return every glance while you've got a chance to score. You gotta use what you got to get what you want before you ain't got no more. Your clock starts ticking on the day that you were born. It just keeps ticking on. There's only so much time to blow your little horn before your time has come and gone. Wednesday you're new, Thursday you're through. It happens sooner than you know. That gravy train gets mighty slow. So as I told you a moment ago, you gotta think number one, be loyal to none. If you want your sun to shine, you gotta learn every trick to stab in the back, as long as the back ain't mine. You gotta use every friend as a means to an end. Hey, ain't that what a friend is for? advice, right? Use what you got from the life. That song makes me so happy. You know, that show was directed by the fantastic Michael Blakemore, who also directed City of Angels, so many great shows, multiple Tony winner, and his main squeeze, his beloved girl, who is a dear friend of mine, Rhonda Barkow, is watching us tonight. So, Rhonda, I love you. I hope that you'll play that for Michael later because I know he's in London. So, but you know, all of my shows after I perform them go on to YouTube. That's a good lead into this, actually, because I keep forgetting to say this. But if you get a chance and you want to watch these shows and any of the 21 that I've done prior to this, they're on my YouTube channel, which is called Billy Stritch. And if you go and subscribe, you will get, I won't harass you, I promise. I won't send you a lot of stuff. But every time I put something new, you'll get a little notification for that. And you'll make the numbers go up. And it's nice. The more subscribers I get, the more fun it is for everybody. Rhonda, I hope that you'll send the show to Michael because, God, do I love that show. Also, that reminds me, and I always forget this too, if you're watching right now and you think you have friends on Facebook who would enjoy it, just go to the bottom right-hand corner or at the bottom and hit that share button so my show will immediately go on your feed and we'll get more people watching the show. Okay, I don't think I've gone this far without mentioning, doing the pause for the cause. But you know, this is a free show, and I'm so happy to perform every week for you. I mean, I live for these shows every week. They give me life, and they give me something to work on, and it's fantastic. And I'm so thrilled that so many of you watch during the week. We have usually 200 people watching live, and then as the week goes on, we're anywhere from 3,000 to, when I did the Barry Manilow show, we had 11,000 people who ended up watching the show. Anyway, I'm so thrilled that it's reached so many people. But it doesn't come for free, you know, the equipment and the platform and doing all of this stuff. And so if you are able at all to contribute a little something, no amount is too large or too small, believe me, it all adds up. And I so appreciate it if you can send a little tip to the virtual tip jar if you're enjoying yourself tonight. There are two ways you can do that online. The first is Venmo, and my handle on Venmo is Billy-Stritch. And the other one is PayPal, and that is bstritch@yahoo.com. And then some of you have mentioned that you don't like to use either one of those apps. So if you will write me, if you want to send me a check, you can write me on Facebook Messenger, and I'll be happy to send you my address. And you can do that as well, and that's working out just fine too. It all adds up. Thank you all so much. I have so many of you who have sent a little something or a lot of something every week, and it is so heartening to me. I really don't think I would be so inspired to do this without all this generous encouragement and help. And, you know, we're all in a tough time now, but any little bit helps. Okay, I'm going to get off that tack and do a little bit more Psy Coleman. But before I do, I'm going to have a little bit of this. This is a song that Psy Coleman wrote. What I love about Psy is that it's not all about Broadway stuff. You know, before he had a hit on Broadway, his first show on Broadway was Wildcat. But in the 8 or 9 years leading up to that, he wrote so many wonderful pop songs. The Best Is Yet to Come, You Fascinate Me So, Witchcraft. It amazes me. Here's another one of those songs. This was written with the lyrics by Joseph McCarthy Jr. First of all, it's not that Joe McCarthy. Joe McCarthy Jr. was a fantastic lyricist, and a little known fact, his father was a lyricist as well, and his father, Senior, wrote the lyrics, I believe, to You Made Me Love You. I didn't want to do it. You woke me up to do it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a song called Why Try to Change Me Now? I'm sentimental, so I walk in the rain. I've got some habits even I can't explain. Could start for the corner, wind up in Spain. But why try to change me now? I sit and daydream, I've got daydreams galore. Cigarette ashes, there they go on the floor. I'll go away weekends, leave my keys in the door. But why try to change me now? Why can't I be more conventional? People talk, people stare, so I try. But that's not for me, 'cause I can't see my kind of crazy world go passing me by. So let people wonder, let them laugh, let them frown. You know I'll love you till the moon's upside down. Don't you remember I was always your clown? Why try to change me now? Why can't I be more conventional? People talk, people stare, so I try. But that's not for me, 'cause I can't see my crane of crazy world go passing me by. So let people wonder, let them laugh, let them frown. You know I'll love you till the moon's upside down. Don't you remember I was always your clone? So why try to change me? Why try to change me? Why try to change me now? God, I love that song. I mean, I love Psy Coleman's melodies so much. What a great harmonist and melodist, and it just all has that wonderful, wonderful, fresh pop jazz kind of feel to me. That's a good song, and it doesn't get done quite enough, and I'm happy to do it for you tonight. Here's one more Psy Coleman song. I did this, I think, before I even started Billy's Place. I did 2 afternoon shows just to kind of try this out. I had no idea I was going to move it to nighttime. And this, I think, was on the first or the second show, so I'm talking back in May. And last week on the Compton and Green show, I did this song called What's New at the Zoo. And so many people liked that because it was about animals. And well, if you missed it, you can go back on YouTube and watch it. But here's one by Psy Coleman and Alan Sherman, who wrote Hello Mata, Hello Fada, Ba-da-da. Anyway, this is called The Large, Dark Aardvark song. There is a large, dark aardvark in the park. They say he's missing from the zoo. And the police are looking high and low, and they have not seen him. Have you? Why did he go? Oh, I'll tell you the reason. 'Cause it's aardvark mating season. When an aardvark makes a date, he slips right through that old zoo gate. So if you tootsies to aardvarks necking in the park, don't upset their apple cart. Do not be a spy, you are not the FBI. You should never break an aardvark's heart. Lyrics. To be an aardvark is not easy, folks, 'cause all you get to eat is ants. And all the other animals make jokes at your attempts to find romance. Nobody laughs at hippopotamuses or at fat rhinoceroses, but an aardvark makes them howl because he's neither fish nor fowl. He's like a kangaroo in love with a gnu, and that's what makes the zoo folks laugh. All of this is so, and this is how I know I'm your friendly neighborhood giraffe. Isn't that cute? I'm glad to reprise that song from so many months ago. The large, dark aardvark song, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, I'm Billy Stritch. This is Billy's Place. Billy's Choice tonight, doing some songs, no particular theme, but I hope you're enjoying it so far. Last week, I did a show that was devoted to Betty Comden and Adolph Green. And God, so many good songs to choose from. And then sometime this week, somebody, and I've been going back trying to find it, but somebody suggested that I do this next song as an instrumental. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was a great idea. In 1967, Betty and Adolph and Julie Stein wrote a show called Hallelujah Baby. And it starred Leslie Uggams in her big Broadway debut. And for that performance, she won a Tony Award, and the show itself won the Tony Award for the best show, best musical that year. And it's got some wonderful music in it. I'm going to do something I don't really do very much. I don't know why I don't do it very much, but in lieu of singing this song, I'm just going to play it for you. And Julie Stein, again, like Psy Coleman, beautiful harmonies, beautiful melodies. I mean, he really, really knew how to write a great song. This is called Being Good Isn't Good Enough. Being Good from Hallelujah Baby. Hallelujah Baby. That's a beautiful tune. Thank you so much. If you're joining me just now, you're late. But stick around because there's a few more good songs coming. I'm Billy Stritch, and it's Billy's Place. If you're able to donate tonight to the virtual tip jar, boy, is that appreciated. There are two ways you can do it. Venmo is bstritch@yahoo.com. And no, that's PayPal. And Venmo is Billy-Stritch. And again, as I mentioned before, if you don't do either one of those things, you can send me a request through Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you an address. And you can send me a check that way. It's all appreciated, and it's all really good. Special shout out, oh, my dear Rick Hinkson, who watches every week and who is at Cast Party every week whenever we're working, and hopefully we will be. Rick has taken a little backward slide and is back in the hospital. Honey, get well and get out of there. He's had a few health issues lately, and we're all pulling for him, and we know he's going to get through that with flying colors, but sometimes it takes a little time. I'm sending you all my love and all my good healing energy and vibes, and I know so many of you who are watching know Rick Hinkson, so let's all send him some good stuff right now. Rick, I'm glad you're with us. Here's a song that, first of all, my good friend Johnny Meyer, who, he worked with Judy Garland probably a year or two before Judy died. You know, I think it's around the period of time that's in that film that was out last year with the Renee Zellweger. Anyway, Johnny knew Judy and played for Judy and wrote for Judy and played piano. And anyway, he's my good friend on Facebook. And he requested Autumn in New York. And as well, he requested this next song, which I'm going to do for you. This song was written, the melody was written in 1919. Okay, it's 101 years old. But it wasn't until 1937, Victor Herbert wrote the melody in 1919. In 1939, 20 years later, Al Dubin put lyrics to it, and that's when the song really took off. It was recorded by Tommy Dorsey, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and it became pretty much of a jazz standard after that. And this is for you, Johnny. This is a wonderful song. It's called Indian Summer. The tear that comes after June time. someone's laughter. You see so many dreams that don't come true. Dreams we fashioned when summertime was new. You are here to watch over a heart that is broken by a word that somebody left unspoken. You're the ghost of a romance in June, going astray, fading too soon. That's why I say farewell to you, Indian summer. Some heart that is broken by a word that somebody left unspoken. You're the ghost of a romance in June, going astray, fading too soon. That's why I say farewell to you, Indian summer. You Indian summer. Goodbye. I think we can safely say goodbye to Indian Summer. I think at this point, when I decided to do this song, it was a couple of days ago, and it was feeling a little warmer again, and so it felt like Indian Summer. But today, really kind of didn't. It's back to fall. Anyway, this next, okay, here's an extravaganza. This is a pageant. My friend Marilyn May calls these pageants when she does a medley. It goes on for a while. Actually, this is pretty compact, this medley. But I was going through my big box of music, trying to pull things. Maybe I've forgotten about things and things to share with you this week. And I found this medley that I put together. I feel like I did this maybe in 1995, 6, something like that. And it was an ASCAP Awards dinner, and there were several honorees, but one of the honorees that night was the fantastic Broadway and Hollywood composer Burton Lane. And earlier I was talking about Psy Coleman. Most composers who don't really play very well, Burton Lane played great. I mean, first of all, his hands were like that, enormous. And he could stretch these tenths and twelfths, and it was like, I heard him play a few times, and it was like, that's New York, 1920s, 30s New York. I mean, he's that guy. And he wrote so many hip and great songs for Hollywood and for Broadway. So I was asked to put together a medley to honor him, and I put this together. And I've done it a couple of times since, but I haven't done this in a while. And so I'm going to take you on a 6-minute tour through Burton Lane's greatest hits. You ready? Here we go. I hear music, mighty fine music, the murmur of the morning breeze up there, the rattle of the milkman on the stair. Sure, that's music, mighty fine music, the singing of a sparrow in the sky, the perking of the coffee right nearby. There's my favorite melody, you, my angel, phoning me. I hear music, mighty fine music, and anytime I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and I look at you, and suddenly something in your eyes I see soon begins bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the sky. It's that old devil moon in your eye. Just when I think I'm free as a dove, old devil moon deep in your eyes blinds me with love. If there's a gleam in her eye each time she straightens your tie, you know the lady's in love with you. And if she can dress for a date without all that waiting you hate, you know the lady's in love with you. And if your friends ask you over to join their table, but she picks that faraway booth for two, well, sir, that's just how it stands. You got romance on your hands, 'cause the lady's in love with you. Moments like this, with the soft lights aglow, make me long for your kiss, though I know I'd be just one of all your affairs. But at moments like this, who cares? All the things we've done together, I relive when we're apart. All the tender fun together lives on in my heart. How could I ever close the door and be the same as I was before? Darling, no, I can't anymore. It's too late now. Oh, my heart is beating wildly, and it's all because you're here. When I'm not near the girl I love the girl I'm near. My heart's in a pickle, it's constantly pickle, and not too particular I fear. When I'm not near the girl I love, love you when you know I've been a liar all my life. I had that reputation since I was a youth. You must have been insane to think I'd tell you the truth. How could you believe me when I said I'd marry you, when I know I'd rather hang than have a wife? I know I said I'd make you mine, but who would know that you would go for that old line? How could you believe me when I said I love you when I know I've been a liar? A doggone dirty liar. And have you gone to the moon or the corner saloon or Tarragona Ruin? I don't care. This is where you should be. I like New York in June. How about you? I like a Gershwin tune. How about you? I like a fireside when a storm is due. I like potato chips, moonlight and motor trips. How about you? You'll feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on a clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever and evermore. Burton Lane. Now he wrote some good songs, right? Wow, that brings back memories. I had 10 songs in about 6 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. I may have to do that one more often. It's kind of fun. You guys, this has been so much fun. I have really enjoyed tonight. I've enjoyed putting this show together, and I have a good feeling about tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to drink one more toast to all of you. You guys are so wonderful to watch me every week and to tell your friends about it and to send donations and to spread the word, and it's just all so wonderful for me. Thank you very much. So, next week, I'm not going to be here. We're going to skip a week next week because, oh my God, I actually got a gig outside of the four walls of this apartment. I'm so thrilled. On Tuesday, I'm flying to Minneapolis, and I'm working for 5 nights with the indefatigable and the marvelous and the wonderful and the just inspirational and miraculous Marilyn May. We're working at a club there called Crooners, which she has worked a few times, but I've never had the pleasure, and I hear wonderful things about it. Of course, we won't be inside. We're going to be outside, under a tent, near a lake. I feel like I'm going to freeze my ass off, but I'm just excited because 5 nights on the stage with Marilyn, and this year Marilyn and I are celebrating. Well, I'm celebrating. I don't know if she is, but I'm celebrating working and knowing Marilyn May for 40 years this year. I met her when I was 3 years old. Anyway, so I won't be here next Tuesday. I won't be here next Thursday. I'll be gone all week. We'll be back on October 22nd in 2 weeks. But in lieu of next week, when I'm not here, I have a very special thing to tell you. My devoted partner and producer, Doug Major, is going to be featured on his own show next Thursday night. Doug, before I met him, he lived up in Massachusetts, and he did a lot of acting in regional theater and community theater. And, I didn't see him back then, but by all accounts, from everyone I've talked to, he was quite a good actor. And a lot of the work that he did was at a theater in West Springfield, Massachusetts called the Majestic Theater. And the creative director there and the artistic director is a guy named Danny Eaton. Before I met Doug, one of the shows that he had done there out of many was a show called Blood Brothers, which I know a lot of you know. But anyway, that was a big hit for the Majestic Theater. And it was extended and extended. And like I said, this was back in the 90s before I met Doug. But 90s, right? Yeah. So it's a show, it was like the show that everybody kept talking about. And they would send out at the end, if you were a subscriber, at the end of the year, they'd say, what show would you like for next year? And so many people would say, bring back, I can't even talk, bring back Blood Brothers. That's a tongue twister. Now, don't say that 5 times fast. Blood Brothers. Bring it back. People had such great memories of that. So, in fact, that's what they did, and about 7 years ago. 7? 8 years. They asked Doug and the original threesome that were in that show. What are their names? It's Christine and Ben. The three of them, the three main characters, they brought them back to do a revival, a restaging of Blood Brothers. And so I finally had a chance to see my sweetheart act. And, you know, I was out of town for the opening night. I think I was on a cruise ship or something. And so I wasn't there for the opening, but it was a six-week run. And so as soon as I could, I went up to Massachusetts and I got to see the show. And you know that thing, I have to say, and I've told him this, and he, you know, so he knows, where you're just hoping and praying that he's going to be good and that you're not going to have to go, gee, that was great. Well, you guys, I have to tell you, he was fantastic. And I was so moved by the whole show, but at the end of the show, I was like in tears. I mean, it's quite a show, quite a journey that show takes you on, and I was just so glad to know that Doug was, in fact, a very skilled and moving actor, and I know other people who are much more objective than me that agreed. So that's a long way of telling you that next Thursday night there's a show that Danny Eaton does called Behind the Curtain. It's Behind the Curtain. It's the Majestic Theater in Springfield. And every Thursday at 7, he does an interview with one of his, his cast of performers, past and present. And next Thursday, Doug is going to be the special guest. And I think probably right now he's showing you some pictures of him and Blood Brothers and also A Few Good Men. And and I'll be posting this during the week, and he will too. And I'll remind you because I feel like it's going to be a great interview. Doug is so organized and has great stories and great pictures, and it'll be a wonderful interview. And I'm very happy that something is going to take the place of Billy's Place next week. Don't you think that's going to be fun, honey? Yes. Are you excited? I am. Is there anybody else watching I should shout out to, or is it just, is everybody wonderful?
Everybody's wonderful.
Everybody's wonderful, okay.
Although you should tell them about our first date and who we sat next to at Joe's pub.
Oh, well, okay, I will. Doug said you should tell them about our first date and who we sat next to at Joe's pub. And because he does remember everything. Our first date out was in 2000, maybe the beginning of 2000? Yeah. 20 years. We went to Joe's pub down at the Public Theater to see a review called All Girl Band. That was my friend David Zippel. It was his songs, and it was 3 girls in the show. And so we sit down, and who is seated next to us but Psy Coleman and his wonderful wife, Shelby. Now, I knew Psy, but Doug certainly hadn't met him. It was the first time we'd ever gone out. And so that's a special night for us, right? Psy Coleman really is a touchstone for us. And Psy was just great. I'm happy to sing his music. And I guarantee you that in one of the coming weeks, I'm going to do a whole show devoted to Psy because I could do 2 or 3 shows devoted to Psy. But anyway, one more time, I'm going to mention if you're able to send in a love donation, a little offering, Doug is going to put it on the screen, the 2 ways that you can do that. And also, if you rather send me a check or cash, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll send you my address, and I will gladly accept all of that. You guys, so wonderful to sing for you tonight. I will be here in 2 weeks. Doug will be here next week. He put up the information. I'll put it up later. I'm going to close out the show tonight with a song that, I spent a lot of years on the road with a dear, dear, deep soul, heart friend, Liza Minnelli. We met each other in 1991, and we have been wonderful friends ever since, and we spent 25 years on the road together. And I was in the park the other day listening to music on my iPod, and this song came up. It's an arrangement that I so love that she did from her show Steppin' Out at Radio City Music Hall, but it was a song that we did throughout the years, and so I thought I would attempt it. It's a medley of two songs. The first song is by George and Ira Gershwin, and the second song is by Kurt Weill and Alan J. Lerner. I'm going to leave you with this lovely thought, and thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks right here. The more I read the papers, the less I comprehend the world and all its capers and how it all will end. Nothing seems to be lasting, but that isn't our affair. We've got something permanent, I mean in the way we care. There's a far land, I'm told, where I'll find a field of gold. But here I'll stay with you. And they say there's an isle deep with clover, where your heart wears a smile all day through. Well, I know well they're wrong, and I know where I belong, and here I'll stay with you. For that land is a sandy illusion. It's the theme of a dream gone astray, and the world others woo I can find loving you, and so here I'll stay. Our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time we'll go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here. It's more than clear. It's here to stay. others woo. I can find loving you, dear soul, here I stay. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Good night. Love you.